At this time, we're back. Eric DeSobe here, joined by Asha Castleberry-Hernandez. We're talking about a sector of industry I don't know too much about. Asha, give us a little bit of background on who you are and why your sector is a little bit unique.
My name is Asha Castleberry-Hernandez. I'm a national security professional or executive, also known as a strategist. I've been in this domain for more than 20 years. And, national security in conception, when you look at it, it's about how to protect our country from foreign threats. And there's different ways of doing that as far as looking in the employment sector of it. But for me, what's such a treat and why I'm so happy to join this conversation is because my career has never been linear in terms of navigating the national security space. I've experienced a lot of different things or across different domains, whether it's in media as well as at a think tank, in the military, diplomacy at the State Department, also in politics and academia. So I have a lot of advice to offer to everyone that, how can you enter in these different fields, subfields within the national security space?
Yeah, and as someone who works in public education, I really have no insight into any of this. So I'm really curious to hear, like, if I wanted to make a pivot and I have skills that I think could be transferable to the world that you just described, where do I even start? Who do I even talk to?
Yes. Well, national security deals with a lot in terms of defense, intelligence, again, diplomacy, as well as development work. So the biggest mechanism right now, as far as employment in national security, and has always been traditionally, is the U.S. military. So many Americans have joined the national security space through the military, whether they've been recruited out from high school or they attend college through ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, and become a commissioned officer. So there's different ways as far as joining. And I will tell you, the numbers have not been good with joining the military for the last 4 years. So they're more open to bringing in new people. But another good thing about the military, too, is that it's a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually a world-class military in terms of skill sets. They're looking into more of investing in right now in STEM jobs. So if you're a cybersecurity expert or someone who received their master's degree in cybersecurity, you can inquire to join the military as a commissioned officer working on cybersecurity. If you're a lawyer who also is looking to practice law, you can join directly after law school and join the armed services to be part of the JAG Corps. Also doing engineering work as well as other significant background in technology. The U.S. military is definitely looking for those skill sets, and they're making it easier for those that have STEM background to join.
And then for someone not in that world, I feel like I'll see in movies or see when I read newspapers things about security clearances. What does that mean, or what would the person who might be considering jumping into that sector need to know about that, or if they even need to care about that at all?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, so it's a background check about your life, what you've been doing prior to joining or being considered for a national security position. Most national security positions require it, so it's kind of like a background check if you go for any job. But there's the focus more on this one compared to the private sector is like, where have you been in different countries? What did you do there? Where have you been? Have you been affiliated with any organizations that are relatable to extremists? So that and different different type of background or areas of that they have to look into, because if there is of a concern that does hurt your chances, or you have to explain yourself, what is this? And then even they're looking into credit background as well, because if you show that you have a default or a lien, looking at your financial record, that is a concern there, because when it comes to that type of investigations, they say that you could be considered as compromised for some to somebody else. So that's really really important to note that when it comes to just as far as background information, not just necessarily traveling to other countries, but how do you handle yourself? What is your life like? What have you been doing even here at home?
And then on this topic, is there like search firms or their job lists? Like, where would I even go to look to find opportunities and links to click if I was trying to find where I could maybe turn in an application to something?
Right, right, right. So everybody hates when people say this website, but it's called USA Jobs because many people feel that when they apply the USA Jobs, it's like going into a black hole. But what's great about USA Jobs is the government still uses it, and they actually do. People do pick up jobs there at USA Jobs. It's just the process is longer, but that's one site. Another place to look as far as potential job opportunities is you have to widen the scope, not just USA Jobs, look into the private sector, whether it's at a bank. You could look at different banks on what kind of cyber security work or national security work they're doing there. Think tanks, there's different ones as far as, especially in places like DC, there's always different openings. So you have to go into some of these institutions and look up their current openings. But also to join different organizations like national security organizations like the Truman Project or, Diversity and National Security Network that feeds you those jobs that are out there. They also have on the Hill a national security organization. I forgot the exact name of it, where they constantly feed you which member in Congress is looking for a national security advisor or, a foreign policy advisor. So I would join so many different member-based organizations to get on their list server, and you'll be fed all the time different jobs focusing on national security, foreign policy. Then another way to kind of be referred or considered is constantly network with people and seek out for those that could sponsor you so they could tell you about jobs. Because sometimes these jobs are not marketed, even though legally they are. They're supposed to. Sometimes they're not. And then people will tell you about these jobs behind the scenes. So that helps too as well.
And then last thing, I know you had some other employment advice for folks more around entrepreneurship. I was curious what kind of things were on your mind there.
Yes. So in my career, I started a nonprofit focused on national security. And we're actively there passing along different job opportunities too. And then we were also extremely instrumental in helping people work for the government or an administration like the Biden administration and other facets too as well. But the entrepreneurship approach, I like it because you get to create your own hub, and if you want to work on a specific project, like doing some sort of intellectual exchange, that's also helpful too. Like we just recently launched a project called National Security 2050. We're focusing on analyzing emerging national security issues and how the American people could adapt to them. And what's great about it is that with those type of projects, you could seek out for grants and then create an employment side of it for yourself as well as for the rest of for the people that work for it. So there's a lot of defense contracting too. That's part of it, where if you create your own business, you can apply for a defense contract, and that's another way to do it as well. A lot of people are into defense contracting, and it's a lucrative business.
Well, how can people find you out in the world? Is it LinkedIn? Is it other places? What's a way for folks to get connected to you?
Please visit me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is always active. You can definitely reach out to me there, and also at my IG at Asha Castleberry. I'm active there too as well.
I love it. Well, we'll put all that in the episode description. Asha, thanks so much for coming on. Thanks everyone for listening. You can get all the episodes of At This Time podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, you can catch us on YouTube in stunning 4K. We look great. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, catch you soon.